Okay, well, good evening, everybody. Today is November the 17th, 2019, and we just got done in Valdosta, Georgia with our Focus on the Finish Fall Advance. We had so much fun. Let me show you all the cute little, this was the, well, I got all the stuff in this cup, but this is the logo. I'll put it back here so you can see it. Can you see it? That light's not that great. There you go. Focus on the finish. So we had a little cheetah head and we had banners, and the company sent me a huge Mary Kay National Area banner, like 8 foot by 10 foot. And so we just had the best time. Raul Dominguez, who is the Ruby sales manager from Mary Kay Dallas, came down, and he just showed us, to me, the thing I got out of Raul was his belief in the company. He actually met Mary Kay when he was a little boy in the grocery store with his mother. And he remembers Mary Kay looked down one day and said, you're going to work for my company one day. And he said that was always his dream. And then his sister beat him to the punch, his older sister, and they had a rule back in Mary Kay that siblings could not both work at Mary Kay. And so years later, they changed it. So now he's been with them, and his sister is still there. She's been there 34 years, and he's been there, I think he said 15 years, 13 or 15 years. But he just has a love for the company. He knew Mary Kay personally. He just, it was just really refreshing. And he told us some inside information, kind of like, he talked about other countries. And so we had our advance on Friday night, and then at 9:30, all the directors and the Red Jackets came to my house for a dessert reception, and Raul was there, and we just sat around the dining room table, just cried around there, and we told stories, and we listened to him, and we just had some really good bonding. And I don't know, it was really special. We had a time where they actually pulled out all the direct unit members from my unit, and also from my Offsprings unit, Cheetah Nation, our area. And he talked to us for about an hour, maybe 45 minutes, an hour, I'm not sure. It was very moving. And he basically painted the picture of building a national area. And it was so vivid that it made me cry. It really did. And I mean, several of us kind of got emotional. And, I say it's okay. It's okay to cry every now and then, because when you cry, it just means it really means something to you. Like, it's really genuine. It pulled on your heartstrings. And, you got to get yourself together after you have a little cry if you're going to speak. But it's okay to show your emotions every now and then. So he really got to us. And so we made some really firm commitments. One of the things that our goal has been to become a national area, but really a deadline is for they call it the 8 and 6. And it's when you have 8 first line sales directors and 6 second line sales directors. And that's when the magic starts with the company. And she said, they order your Escalade, they order your director suit, they start with your national suit, they come and visit, they have all these things they do. Because, to be a national, you can do 10 and 10, like 10 first line, 10 second line, or 11 and 7, or 12 and, 11 and 9, and 12, or 12 and 8. So you're really pretty close when you're at 8 and 6. So you need basically 5 more people. And so anyway, I've set the goal that I feel confident that we can be there by seminar this year. I mean, it's a possibility we could, debut on stage at Seminar 2020, but for sure, I believe we can do that. I mean, that'll be a stretch, but that's what I'm really going to focus on to get that done. And so we have a lot of girls that, stepped up and said, yep, I'm doing it. I'm in. I'm going for it, and then of course some are like, hey, I'll be one of your Red Jackets, which we need, because all these units we need 7 units to win Premier Cars or more, which takes team members and Red Jackets. And so everybody's going to play a part of it. All the boss babes are going to play a part of it, whether you're in my direct unit or just a girlfriend of mine, because it's exciting when it's like a movement. When somebody starts moving, everybody starts moving, right? And so as we're doing it, we're going to tell you everything that we're doing, and we're going to share, and that that all the directors here and all the people watching online, you'll get tips too as we book, sell, and recruit our way to the top. So on Saturday afternoon, or Saturday morning, we did a really funny skit. I have to tell you about it. Laurie Barfield dressed up as Mary Kay Ash. And in fact, if you're watching this and in my unit, if y'all videoed it, surely somebody videoed that. I cannot even believe I didn't tell someone to. But anyway, she was Mary Kay Ash. We had the Nina Renfro was the Batgirl, the booker, dressed up in a Batman outfit. We had Janet was Catwoman, the coacher. Sayla was Wonder Woman, the dream giver. And then I was Nancy Newby. And Liz Moran was Rondo Red Jacket. And so we did a little skit that took us from me, Liz, or Rondo Red Jacket booking Nancy Newby at the mall, to holding a party, to joining Mary Kay, to learning how to dress and not chew gum and take calls while you're talking to Mary Kay Ash on the cell phone, and then progress to a national sales director. So it was a lot of fun. And then we had some really great classes. Raul got up and talked again and just talked to us about consistency and commitment. And then we had some roundtable discussions, but one of the things I'm most excited about that I have to tell y'all is that our group, which we had 51 registered. I think we had about 43 to 47 that day that we did this challenge, but to get 5 bookings in 30 minutes. And we booked I think it ended up being over 200 bookings at lunch. 200, and 99% of the girls there had 0 bookings when they came in. 2 of them left with 18 on their books. Pam Wagner won the whole deal. She didn't have the most booking, but she won the drawing, and so she can tell you about that. But that's exciting, because if you're at a conference and you leave and you don't have anything booked, you still feel like, ugh. But if you leave and you got a date book full of bookings, and you're like, all right, let's do this, So I just challenge you, anytime you go somewhere like that, whether they give you a challenge or not, challenge yourself to get 5 bookings before you leave. And so it's just the momentum it's going to give you. And so we ended with commitments and a goal poster for everybody, and just a wonderful weekend of recommitment. And I just want to encourage you that when your director has something for you to go to, whether it's just your regular Monday night or weekly meeting, or whether it's a retreat, you want to go, because you can't, it's different when you're actually there. And so we're going to do the best to just relay it to you. But there's other things coming up, like January Jumpstart, and that'll be the next big thing. And then career conference, and then seminar. And then you got your fall advance. Those are the 4 for consultants. So you want to just, as soon as you know the dates, put them down and go, I'm going. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna start off with I'm gonna actually end with our directors. So Maria, Sayla, and Janet, we're gonna end with you guys. So we're gonna start with some of the consultants. So I am going to I'm not sure who 25388. I think that's Joyce, 2538888. So she went there. So we'll just start with Pam Wagner. I'll start with you because you're at the top.
All righty. Well, I had such a great time, and it was such a cool thing, because I was actually gonna come Friday and leave early Saturday, because I had a class reunion to go to that night in Jacksonville. And I actually, after I listened to Raul speak, the very first part of it, and then when he talked with us privately, I knew right then I had to cancel my plans to go to Florida. And that I knew that I needed to be there, because my desire is to be a director. And I knew this was going to be a time for me to learn and grow, and God just to speak to me. And then, and sure enough, when we did the challenge, we're sitting at the table, and just in my spirit, I was like, I got to do this. And so I started off trying to text individual friends, and I looked over at Rhonda next to me. I said, girl, show me how to do a group text. Tell me how to do that. And so she showed me, and as soon as I sent it out, people were responding so fast. And I just thought that was such a God thing, that they were responding on a Saturday that quick to me. And so, and then when you drew my name. I mean, literally right before, and I shared this with you today, Cleta, that, I was praying. I said, God, if this is your will for me to go into directorship, that's been my lifelong dream. Please show me a sign that my name's going to be drawn. And when you drew my name and said it, I literally was screaming so much because I knew that I'd heard from the Lord. Not so much that I won the gift, but it was just because the Lord answered that very moment, said, yes, this is what I'm trying to confirm in your life. And I saw that as a sign, and I know some people might not believe that, but I saw it. I was shaking severely up there because I knew the presence of the Lord had just met me there and said, this is what I'm going to fulfill in your life. And so I woke up today and I canceled I was going to fly to Vermont to visit a week at my sister's, and I've canceled all that. And I have been working all day long, and all the ones that booked individually are now turning their things into parties for me because I'm sharing my goal for 2 weeks. I said, I have to become qualified to put my card in 2 weeks. Will you please do this for me? And so these people are now my friends are now turning their individual facial into parties for me. And I'm just so excited. And so I have a girl that I just talked to, shared my heart. And of course, I took an individual picture of the necklace I won, and I'm sending it to him. And even my boss, who I just started a new job, like, I cannot believe you just won this. And so it's just been exciting. But even a friend of mine, I just reached out to her and said, please, I need you on my team. I need you to get going. I have 2 weeks to do this. And she said, I'll sign up. And she said, if anybody's deserving to become a director, it's you, Pam. And she said, I'll do it just for you to become a director. And so I'm just excited. And so I can't wait to see what God does in the next 2 weeks. And so there's something that Raul said. He said, be a leader of people, and to be a leader that really just leads. And when he said people, I know that meant to be women, to be a true leader of women. And to me, that's the platform that I want to be able to do and just share with women, what this opportunity can do for their families, for them individually, and, spiritually, financially, just everything, their self-esteem, the things that, are going on in their lives. I know God's got that in me to be able to share. And so anyways, I want to be a leader of women, and I'm excited to see what the next 2 weeks are. So I'm praying that by November 30th, December 1st, I am writing on a card that says, yes, I'm moving forward. So that's all.
All right, Pam, I'm so excited. It is amazing when God moves. And I know what you're saying. Like, some people go, whatever, that's not a sign. Okay, here's what I say to that. Just because you don't believe it, it doesn't mean it's not true. Not
Right.
you, but other people. Like, it don't matter what they think. It's what you think. So I'm so excited for you. I am thrilled that you've already got someone that's going to be signing up. So you will be DIQ December 1st, and we're going to start the train, the cheetah train.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations, and thank you for sharing. You guys, the thing I wanted to point out that I was so impressed with Pam, a lot of people without with not true commitment would have said, well, I can't miss this class reunion. I mean, I got to go. It's 2 hours away. I'm sorry. I'll still do it, but I'm going to go to my class reunion. And Pam just, she was willing to just say, all right, I'm not going. And then to not go to Vermont tomorrow for the whole week, and cancel her vacation because she's that serious. I mean, I'm not telling y'all to all go to cancel your vacations, but all I'm saying is that I do feel like she will be rewarded for the sacrifice that she is making and the effort that she's making, 100%. So it just shows true commitment. So thank you, Pam, for leading the way. Love you, girl.
Love you too.
Okay, we're going to go to her sister. That's what I'm going to have to call her. All my personal recruits, they can become best friends, which I love it. So we're going to let Catherine Scott go next. Catherine, you're unmuted.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
They're saying hey, but you can't hear.
I know. I'm just excited. Oh my goodness. this weekend, I just cannot stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. And there was just things in the last couple of weeks that I just kept telling myself, even after I paid and I told Cleta that I was going to go, there were just so many different things that just kept happening personally, and I felt like I can't go. I'm needed somewhere else. And I'm so glad that I went. It was just life-changing for me. And I guess the biggest takeaway for me is that what God showed me this weekend is that all those things that I worry about, and I feel like those personal issues that keep coming up, and I feel like that's the devil just stopping me from what he's called me to do. And he just really showed me that if I would just stop worrying about those things and feeling like I have to have my hand all over those different situations that I'm worried about, and if I will focus on this and do the work, that he will take care of all those things that I see as that I need to be involved in, because I don't need to, and I don't need to worry about those things, that God's going to take care of those things for me if I just take one step in front of the other and just do the work. And so, like Pam, you come back from something like this, you're on such a high, and you immediately walk in the door and, what's for dinner, all these kind of things, and you kind of feel deflated a little bit. But I got up this morning, went to church. I did a facial this afternoon, met some wonderful women, got some great appointments. I got my house ready for an open house next Saturday. I'm doing back-to-back parties next Saturday here at the house. And so I've committed that I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a director, and I'm going to do the work. So, Cleta, I just want to thank you for this weekend and for your vision, and just for not giving up on me.
I definitely am not giving up on you, and I know you can do it, Catherine. And just the fact that you came on to the conference when so many things are pulling you away, and you guys, y'all just know, every one of you, when you commit to do something, if you are a God-fearing woman, that Satan does not want you to succeed. So there are going to be obstacles that are going to try to stop you from doing what you want to do. And so thank you, Catherine, for not letting him win, because he didn't want you to go to that conference, because he knew you're going to get inspired. We got you a bunch of godly teachers, and, so I'm just proud of you for pushing through. And it's hard sometimes. I know it is, y'all. I mean, we all have life that we are living. And so I'm very proud of you for not, for coming on and being that woman of your word. So thank you. I know you can do it. I know you will do it. So, and hey, just the fact that you went ahead and started today and had a facial and you got all this going on, that shows true commitment. So congratulations to you. Okay. I'm going to mute you out, and we're going to go to Miss Maud Johnson. Maud, you're unmuted.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much. I want to say to Cleta and her awesome directors, thank you so much for this weekend. It was a very telling and significant period for me and for Mary Kay in this area, I do believe, because it highlighted for me a singleness of purpose, single purpose, single mind, and a single heart that we have elected to draw together to make this awesome accomplishment to build leaders for this national area. And I was very awakened, I think, to not just hear that and know that, but to actually see that come together as I experienced us as women celebrating and rejoicing over that truth. And having Raul there just seemed to solidify it all for me. I think Cleta mentioned that he outlined for us a real vision of what that was going to look like, and made all of us feel such a part of the accomplishment of this task. And somebody else mentioned that this was like a movement, you know, and a movement to build leaders, And that was just so exciting. And when he said that our integrity as leaders is vital to what we say we are about. And I was really encouraged by that also. So I too have been moving this weekend with calls, with texts, with trying to bring people together and having prayer to undergird all of that, because without him, I can do nothing and I will do nothing. But with God, it is my desire to accomplish all that would please him in the development of this national area. So I just want to say that those of you who were there, I saw you, I rejoiced with you, and I thank the Lord for you. And those of you who are still looking for a purpose, they don't get on board, this is it. It's now. And don't let the train pass you by.
That's right.
Thank you.
Don't let the cheetah train pass you by, no matter what animal you are.
Yeah.
Mom,
Yes.
thank you so much. And you know, it's funny, when he was meeting with all of us, one of the things that I had a vision of, I looked at each of you and I saw you like Maud, and then a group of women, that's your unit, you know, and Catherine and a group of women, that's her unit. And y'all looking at them and telling them, you can get in your red jacket. You can be a team leader. You know, I mean, it's just going to be so exciting to see y'all learn so much, and you're ready to transfer those skills, and you find your own leaders within your own team. It's going to be exciting to see that. Like, for me to see that is going to be one of the biggest thrills of my life, really, to see y'all build those units. So thank you for sharing that. Love you, girl. Okay. All right, let's see. Who is, I'm going to unmute you. I'm not positive who you are. It's 5160096.
Debra.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Debra, you're next.
Yeah. Oh, God, this is so awesome. So I was excited. I needed this time anyway. It was time to be with the girlfriends, right? And so what hit me the most was not only supporting you, Cleta, because you're amazing. And I always remember back when, and I love your sister, but I remember walking in our training center in Valdosta and saying, you know, wow, Lord, Cleta looks, I mean, I really want to be in there with her. And I Connie knows it too, but I would always want to go in there to your, class or whatever. And so then, I don't know, this weekend, I was like, all along since I've joined Mary Kay 21 years ago, I know that I'm supposed to lead. Mm-hmm. And so when Raul was meeting with us, and I know I've been running from God from this calling or whatever, and just for the lack of faith and fear of success or fear of major responsibility, my mind would want to shut down and avoid it. But when he said, he was just standing there and just pouring into me and the other ladies about the company. And it's like, the connection is already there. And I'm like, why am I not, doing this? And instead of going after other things that's not as passionate about. And so anyway, and everything about the company is what I yearn for. And so then I sent Cleta the notes, because I'm like, I go to church and it's like the devil was like, you're too tired. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go to church, and love going to church. And so what does he talk about? How to be a leader in Mark. And there was 3 points that I want to share with you. Hold on. The first one is courage. And he says, what if you died? What if you knew you were going to die next week? Like this week was all you had. And he says, we all have a spear of leadership. What are we afraid of? People need Christ in this life. And the whole sermon, he was speaking about a legacy. He was speaking about everything that we heard this weekend, and I've always heard in Mary Kay. But on courage, he said, give courage. And he said, faith is action, and how God wants to bless us. And he said the next one, and he was talking about having integrity and character. And then he spoke about being bold in the midst of our fearfulness. I'm reading some notes. And he talked about any situation that we're in. He said, that God goes before us. And he doesn't put these dreams in these thoughts and these dreams in our hearts by accident. Like, people need us and Christ. And the other thing he mentioned was communication. And I think of Mary Kay and how we communicate with Cleta, how we let everybody know what our goals are, how we and it's not like, I imagine then, like, okay, we're in the pink bubble, but it's Christ's bubble. It's the pink bubble spreading. And so that's what I see it as. And so when he talked about communication, he talked about Jesus telling the disciples, okay, yeah, I know I'm going to be crucified in a week, but I'm going to Jerusalem anyway. I'm doing it anyway, and they were flipping out. And that's what I would do, flip out and say, wait a minute, is this going to work or is it not? And start doubting. So then the next one he spoke on was completion. And he said, in this, let me back up, in this with the communication one, he said, pray with others and lead them to Christ. There's more people out there going through what you're going through, and he wants to use us. And he says, in completion, he said, complete your faith journey, not giving up when life happens. He says, don't fall away. No matter how difficult life feels broken, keep pressing on to lead others and complete the work of God. He says, do not give up. Live and complete the task that God has put before you. And the last thing he said was perseverance. Persevere until you have finished the race. Be the leader who God has called you to be. And I was like, I want to jump up and just go crazy in that message. But I'm like, okay, God, I know this is real. I mean, it was just amazing. So what a confirmation, And so I got on the phone and I had a party last week and some other sales, but, I had a whole different heart. And I said, Lord, help me, show me the women specifically. Give me the courage, Lord, to complete this journey. Lord, I'm 51, so what? I'm in great health and I can do this through you. And what awesome group of women. I mean, I could have spent a whole week with y'all, and it's just amazing. I'm so excited. I truly believe, it's going to happen before the 30th and be in DIQ. I have 8 women. So then my 18-year-old said, Mom, when are we signing up? And I'm like, hey. So anyway, I'm going to sign Taylor up. And so I just know that I'm going to find those women who are going to be active before the 30th. So I'm searching, I'm calling. So anyway, and I'm believing more than ever. So I'm so excited. And I don't know, I just feel this calling is confirmed. Not that I needed a knock in the head, but I'm just excited.
Sometimes we do.
What?
I said sometimes we need a knock in the head, don't we?
Oh my gosh. He's not done with us.
For sure. Well, thank you for sharing that sermon notes. And if you want to, what you text me, just text it in the box, put it in the Boss Babe group, and that way everybody can see it. I think that would be fantastic. So
Awesome.
thank you, Debra. I know you're going to do
Thank
it.
you.
And
Yes.
not what it
Thank
takes.
God.
You got the heart of Mary Kay, and that's what it takes, you know. So thank you for sharing that tonight. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to, hang on, let me look at my little list here. I'm going to go to Miss Linda Winget. Linda? Oh, wait. Yes, go ahead.
I don't know how to express what this weekend meant, but all the work that you did, you and Sayla and Janet and Laurie and everything, to get all this together, I have come away as excited as I did when I came home from seminar. The training was excellent, and to have Raul there, that to hear him speak and to know how well you are known at corporate, and I feel like so many of us are known also because of what you are doing for us. And there's just no way to describe what the training meant to me this weekend, and I am so sorry that for whatever reason that everybody in our unit that couldn't have driven were not there. I mean, what everybody missed, there's just no way to describe it. And I'm like the rest of the ladies, there's no doubt in my mind that God is behind all of us. And we're going to all be so proud when we're able to walk across that stage at seminar with you. And so many of us are going to be right there with our director's suits on. Thank you so much, all of you. You're just, you know how I feel about you, Cleta. I love you to death, and you are just such an inspiration. And thank you so much for this weekend.
Girl, well, thank you so much. And Linda, everybody in our whole unit loves you. You're like the Miss Go Give of the whole entire unit. And I just appreciate your support and everything I do, and just kind of looking after me and making sure I need anything, or I don't know. I just appreciate you so much. And you know, one thing about you is you have such great leadership qualities because you can get people to do stuff. So, you know, just like get people to buy raffle tickets and everything else. And you definitely, the thing about you that's going to help you become a sales director is that you love Mary Kay. I mean, it is in your blood runs pink. And so I can't thank you enough, and I appreciate you. Thank you for your kind words tonight, girl. And I'm so glad you're on the call tonight and everybody could hear from you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to go to Sandra Griffin. I think it's Sandra Griffin. It could be Sandra. Is it another Sandra on here?
No.
Okay, that's you. Okay, good.
I guess it could be another Sandra. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's you. It's you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. The advance was it was good. It was just so good to how Mary Kay corporate just looks out for us. I mean, Raul was just he's the heart of Mary Kay. Even though he's a man, he does have the heart of Mary Kay, and that really resonated a lot with me, how encouraging he was about, you know, this area and about helping us do whatever it is we need to do, you know, to make the national area happen. I mean, everybody there, all the directors, all the consultants, it was just like a big slumber party. And just so positive, and everybody just, you know, just great to be around people that can just always talk about God. I mean, just something positive, not all this crazy stuff that's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So that really always puts a better light in my life. And just talking about being leaders and leading women. And one of the things that kind of stood out was, some of the points they were given that was the difference between being a leader and a manager. A leader focuses on leading people, setting the direction, but a manager just focuses on the work and appeal and just not a risk taker. But a leader is a risk taker and will get out there and do it, him or herself, and lead the pack. So that kind of stuck out to me, is be a leader, and walk the walk. And Rose saying, that people look at this area, this group with integrity, and everybody in this group are very take our integrity. They really take this serious and really represent Mary Kay as she wants to be represented. So basically that's what I got out of it, just to get out there and start leading the way and just talking to everybody. And I've made some calls today, and we got some reconfirmations on the 5 bookings that I got and everything. So just on the roll and ready to go.
All right. Thank you, Sandra G. I love you, girl. And you always bring so much to the table, and I'm just proud of you. And I know you're going to meet your goal of getting team leader by the end of the month as well, and then moving forward. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to do Miss Valerie. Let me unmute you. Hang on. Valerie, you may have to unmute yourself. I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not letting me. There you go.
Well, this whole weekend was really awesome. I just love everything y'all done for us. And my takeaway was that, the leadership, being a leader and not just being a manager. Showing people by doing yourself instead of just telling them to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I loved when he said that. And just the sisterhood that we had this weekend was very awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're a big part of it, and you're one of my awesome A-teamers, and you're so loyal to us, Valerie. We just love having you, and I always can depend on you showing up. So I know your business is going to keep advancing, and thank you for sharing tonight. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Marina, let me see if I can find her on here. Miss Marina. Okay, Marina, you're up.
All right. So one thing that I took away was just the ideas. They teasingly were talking about the C personalities, and I am definitely like a proud member of that. So for me, having like different ideas of different tips to talk to customers, how to work with hostesses and stuff like that. So I love getting all these tips from all these Cadillac directors, and being able to actually see myself applying this. And I have no idea what I prayed in the middle of the advance, but on my way home from Tallahassee, I get this phone call from somebody who found my business card on the floor of all places. So, I mean, it really, it's just amazing how just a mind shift, or just asking God to just intervene. So yeah, now I've got an awesome customer who I'll be working with in the future, working on my bookings as well. So it's just, I can't wait.
Wow. Isn't that something? You just pray, someone finds your card on the floor. That's amazing. Yeah. That's called, what is that? Sowing your seed, and somehow it didn't fall on rocky ground. So, well, thank you for sharing that. And Marina, thank you for helping me with my music this weekend. We had a little thing, you guys, that we did. We circled up, and we saw who was the, we did it in alphabetical order, like the A's through the all the way around. And then we did it in how long you've been in Mary Kay. We had a gal in there one day all the way to 38 years. But I asked everyone in their 20s to step forward, and it was only Marina was the only girl in her 20s. So we all decided that we need to recruit some people 18 to 30, and let's build up our younger generation. And there was about, I think, 4 or 6 that were in their 30s. And so anyway, it was kind of an eye opener that, so the conference was a lot of, 40, 50-year-olds, and which we are like mighty and massive, right? And above 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And so but we gotta reach out to our young women, because you know what, they need Mary Kay too, don't they? Our young women need some Mary Kay. So thank you, Marina, for sharing. I appreciate you, girl. Okay, hang on just a moment. Okay, so we are going to go to Sayla. Let me find you, sister. Okay, Sayla, you're next.
Hey, everybody. It was an awesome weekend. I've been to a lot of advances, a lot of seminars. But one thing that really, really touched me is Raul said that in the United States, there's 9,000 directors and over 500,000 consultants. And I just sat there when he said that, and I thought, and out of all those people, he was in Valdosta with us. And, like Cleta said, we were a group of 50 or so strong, but that corporate would think enough of Cleta and, her ability to lead a national area, that he would come and breathe life not only into her, but to all of us. And I was so thankful to have Ann and Maud there with me as part of our group. And I really think that for me, what the weekend did is really, from a level as high as corporate, that they would say, yes, not only do we want you guys to move forward, but we believe that you can do that. And I know that, especially when everyone stated their goals at the end, and I could just see each person achieving their goals. And it's just exciting to me to know that people are going to really step into their destiny. And I feel like that this weekend really helped a lot of people see themselves in a different position, including myself. And that when all of us move, it takes every single one of us to move forward to push Cleta to where she needs to be. And it was a moving weekend, and I am so thankful that we all participated. And anyway, I'm excited and can't wait to see where we wind up in December in seminar. And I'm just excited for all of us.
Thank you, Sayla. And Sayla was so valuable to me during the planning, because I would go, okay, Sayla, and we would rearrange the agenda. She was, let's do. I said, that's a great idea. Okay, and then everybody needs that girl that's your sounding board, because when you're writing stuff down, you're like, I think this is good, but I need you. Don't y'all all feel like sometimes you need a second opinion, and sometimes you like no. But anyway, Sayla, thank you, because a lot of the stuff we did with things that are your ideas and that you helped me figure out. And you're just a great person to give me feedback, because I trust what you say. And so anyway, I know that your unit's going to grow to that pink Cadillac, because that's what you set your mind to, and produce offspring. So I'm proud of you, proud of your girls that came, and I know we're going to just continue to see growth in our area. So thank you for sharing, sister. Okay. I'm going to go to Laurie Barfield, Miss Mary Kay herself.
Hey, everybody. There were so many good points about this weekend, and I did take a good many notes, but really what I wanted to mention was kind of like Sayla said as well. Cleta, this speaks so much to your reputation around Mary Kay. I mean, it's like when we go to a Mary Kay corporate event, it's like we're walking with a rock star because everybody knows Cleta. And so it's, I just want to say thank you for going first and being the leader that you are, because that, riding on her coattails, so to speak, or being associated with her area, that means a lot. And so that adds a lot of credibility to us and our unit and, our units and that kind of thing. So I just want to say thank you for that. And then also, thank you, Linda Winget. Those were some awesome blueberry muffins. I'm telling you, I took 2 of them off the table on my way home, and I just had another one before this call. So I need your recipe because they were amazing. But one of the things that Raul had said about, he was giving some leadership tips, and one of them was from National Sales Director Karen Piero. And one of the things that she said is be business focused. And, it's great to be in the pink bubble. And, I love the camaraderie that we have. I love the sisterhood that we have. But we also need to keep our mind about the business. And so, that's what, as we're going forward and we're doing these goals, and it's like, it's the consistency that is really going to make the difference. It's the day-to-day, week-to-week, being disciplined to do what we need to do and make the calls, to be willing to get the no's. All those things are what builds, and over time, that's what gets you the results. And so to be business focused, results oriented, do the follow-ups, be a woman of your word, say what you're going to do and then do it. And then, of course, leading by example, and then be goal focused and to keep that goal out in front of you. And he gave an analogy about the battle flag. And, back, in the before war was as it is now, it's like the battle, they would have the battle flag up, because with all the smoke and everything going around, sometimes that's all you could see. You couldn't see when the battle was advancing or going to one side or then the other, but you could look up and look at that battle flag. And that if the guy that was carrying the flag, if he got hit and dropped the flag, the next guy would throw down his musket and pick up that flag, because it was so pivotal to the war. And so that's kind of a gruesome analogy. That's where we are right now in building a national area. And so that is the battle flag, and we have to keep that in front of us, but we've got to do the daily activity that it takes to do it. And then the other thing that kind of Raul brought out when it was just the Cleta area proper, as far as is that her win is not going to happen until each of us get our wins. And so, just like the 8 and 6 is that pivotal number where the company starts doing the things that establish us as a national area, I've got to become a senior director first. And so we can talk about Cleta's goal of being national, but each of us need to figure out what is the win that we need for ourselves to help build that. Because it's great to do it for Cleta. We love her. She's wonderful. She's funny, all these wonderful things. But we've got to get to where we need to be a part of that puzzle and fit it in before she's ever going to get there. Because it does take, each of us moving up. We've got to build these other directors. We've got to build the second line directors. And so that's the battle flag, is making the decision, seeing where we need to go, and not losing focus of those things, next weekend or during Thanksgiving weekend when we've eaten too much turkey. We've got to be willing to keep it going and really moving forward in this, because there is an age limit, and we've got a short period of time, and we've got to keep that focus. And so it was so good. And then the only other thing is, I just want to throw some numbers out there that Tracy Clymer brought in. She sold $13,000 in a month by holding 25 parties. And at 50%, that is pretty good money on selling some makeup. So, and she just really raised the bar as far as my level of thinking. Because, when we are sharing the business opportunity with people, we say, at your parties, average is about $300. And she's like, that's not my average. My average is $600 at a party. Because she's like, I sell sets and I get bookings from bookings. And so she's like, I'm great at warm chattering, but I'm telling you, it's so much easier to get the bookings from the bookings. And so, and she just uses the company material, the old 10%, 15%, 20% hostess credit. So it just reiterated that Mary Kay works when we work Mary Kay. So that was some of my takeaways.
Thank you. And that's a good point, because when she told me that too, and Tracy is going for Queen of the Emerald Seminar of Sales, like the #1 honcho queen. Her daughter has already done it, and they have a goal to be the first mother-daughter queens. It's never been done in the history of Mary Kay. And so Tara's like, Mom, don't let me down, because this has to do with my granddaughter too. I mean, my daughter. And so that they could do the mother-daughter, granddaughter. And so one day, so anyway, last month she sold $8,000. Well, in September. And then when I saw her, I said, how much did you do last month? She said, I sold over 13,500. I said, Tracy, what? I said, you yourself, you personally sold 13,000. She goes, yes. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, how did you do it? She said, I held 25 parties. I'm like, well, there you go. And she does full circle parties, just like Laurie said. And it did. I thought, okay, she's making almost $7,000 a month just as a consultant, no commissions on anybody, not recruiting, not anything else, but a beauty consultant, not even a senior beauty consultant, just by holding parties. That's pretty good money. Don't y'all think? If you made $6,725 a month just selling Mary Kay, not even recruiting? Oh my goodness. So
that 25 hours is about 50 hours worth of work.
I know. The 25 parties, 50 hours of work. That's one of your weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So
you did have to bring that up.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for saying that, though. That is really good. And the other thing I want to piggyback on what she said was, that was one thing that he talked to me about in May. And he said, Cleta, because I went to a weekend and he and I had a talk, and that's why when I invited him down, and actually he said, I want to come. I'm inviting myself. I'm like, okay, and I was very honored that of all the directors in the large company that we have, that he would fly to Jacksonville and drive 2 hours to Little Valdosta to our little fall advance. You know what I'm saying? Because there's fall advances that have 500 people there with nationals, and just to go to our little tiny group, it was a big honor. But the thing that he told me there, he said, Cleta, do you realize that becoming a national area, you're going to be bringing in 200 to 400 women in Mary Kay? I'm like, he said, yeah, because, each unit has to have at least 24. So let's say it's 25, 10 units. That's 250 people, and I know we already have some units, but so it's, 250 to 500 people that you're going to be bringing in the company in the next 6 months to a year. That's a massive movement. And he said, and it's going to be so many celebrations before you get yours. He said, so, he said, your focus is on how many people you can help celebrate their win, just over and over again. He goes, think of all the new red jackets you're going to have, all the new senior consultants, all the new sales directors, senior sales directors. He goes, some of your girls may move on into future exec and executive senior sales directors. A lot of people that debut as a national sales director, you have to have at least 3 of your 20 sales directors have to be seniors. So sometimes some of them are executive seniors by the time you get done. And he said, and some of those would have never moved up like that had you not had the movement going. He said, so you could not do it, and there's probably 500 women that'll never even join Mary Kay because you chose not to go for it. I'm like, wow, Raoul. He didn't say it in a negative way, but that's how I heard it. But anyway, but I thought that's true, and it's way more fun to celebrate your people when they do something. It's like when you're a mom and your daughter wins the beauty pageant and you were never even in the contest, right? Or does the last has the winning hoop, the winning basket for a ball game. You know, you're so proud of your kids, and when you're a sales director, you're so proud of your unit members and your offspring. So thank you for sharing all that, Laurie. And I know that you already started off with a new recruit today. So bam, all right, Miss Terry Brown's on here. So that's the way to get home and get something done. Okay. So I believe, let me check my messages, but I believe all of the people that are in my, okay, yes, all the ones that are in my actual unit and area or that attended or have already spoke. So we had several more that were there. I think we had about 18 or 19 in the Cheetah Nation, and then all our adorable adoptees that we love, and several other directors and unit members. But it was just a wonderful conference, and we're going to just wrap it up by saying, even though this was like all the people you heard is about like Cheetah Nation, every single one of you have your own legacy you're building. And, you know, you want to think about it, and you want to think about, what am I building in Mary Kay? You know, what does my team look like? And I'd like to have an assignment for each of you. Last week I had an assignment. I don't know how many you did. Y'all can wave your hands if you did it. When you wrote down every single solitary thing you have to do between now and January 15th. You know, so you would be able to make a plan to get your bookings and do your Mary Kay and not have it all slip up on you. I did it after the call last week. I typed 2 whole pages of a to-do list for last week, you know, that I needed to get done before the fall advance. And I mean, I'm typing. I'm like, wow. Of course, it wasn't everything I did, but it just was like so fulfilling to last night go done. I did every single thing I put on there. Well, not everything. There was a couple of things I was going to do, like sew a cheetah ruffle on the bottom of some jeans. But, you know, some things had to be scratched out. You don't have time to do that. But anyway, that really helped me. So tonight, this is what I'd like you to do. Before you go to bed, like right after we get off the call, I want you to take a blank piece of paper out. And I would like you to make a list of the qualities of women. If you were building and your team, which I'm assuming you are, okay, but your team and your unit, what are the qualities of women that you look at? You're at the unit meeting and you're looking out at your team, and you're fixing to introduce them to Raoul or Mary Kay Ash or National Sales Director, and you go, this is my team. These are my girls. Okay, what qualities do you want those women to have? And I want you to write down every single quality you can think of that you would like to have your team represent. And then what I'd like you to do is I want you to go by and I want you to look at all those qualities. Maybe make 25, if you can come up with 25 different qualities of somebody that when you pick someone to be on your team, you hope they already have, okay? Then I want you to go back and kind of look at those and rate yourself of, do you have all of those qualities? Maybe rate yourself 1 to 10, and maybe you need to work on some of those yourself, because, you know, like, let's say you're like, I want a woman of integrity, but you are not really a woman of your word. You halfway do what you say you're going to do. And I don't mean about missing goals. I'm talking about saying you're going to be somewhere and then you don't show up. You know, saying you're going to, you know, have accountability and you don't call in, you know, different things like that. Okay, but you write down the traits, then you kind of look at yourself and go, okay, what do I need to work on? Because you're going to attract what you are. You're going to attract what you are. And so, and what you do is what other people are going to do to you 9 times out of 10, you know? So you're going to write those down. And then on one side, I want you to also have a spot on your piece of paper that as you write them down and you go back and review them and look at them, think if you could put a woman's name beside every trait, like 25 traits, 25 names. Like you're thinking, who do I know that has, maybe one of them is a great image. You know, she's sharp dresser, she always looks nice, you know, something like that. And then think, who do I know that would fit that? And maybe somebody you've never thought about before. And then one may be like, has, you know, a good heart, or that is a positive, always positive, has an encouraging word, you know, and see if you can't write down 25 people that already have that, okay? And that will give you a good group of people to contact as far as talking to them about the business and facially. We're talking to them about the business because you can say, I made a list of the qualities of women that I am looking for. And then I just, kind of thought, who do I know that already has that? And the one quality that I thought about you was that you are an energy giver. When you come in the room, everybody, you give energy. You're not an energy sucker. I love being around you because of the energy that you give to everybody. And I thought, you know what? I would love to just talk to you about the business. I have some new goals in Mary Kay, and I'm looking for women like you to be on my team because I need women like you around me and my other consultants. And I just like talk to you about it for a minute. And I don't know, maybe something you might want to consider. And if not, you probably have friends that are like you, And so I want you to do that for me. So you're going to make a list. You're going to look at you see what you need to work on. And then you're going to make the list of the women that come to your mind that have those qualities. And then the last thing I want you to do, and I realize some of this may take a little time, but the last thing I want you to do is I want you to have that list. So you have your list of qualities, your list of ladies, but then I want you to every day, you might need to do this more than once a day. I want you to pray that the Lord will send women in your life and into your brain that you already know. Maybe new women, but maybe women you already know that meet these qualities. It's kind of like, you ever heard those like people looking for husbands and they say, make a list of all the qualities of the husband, of the man that you would want to marry, right down to, does he have bushy eyebrows? I don't know. And then you start praying about your future husband. Some people have even said they did a goal poster, put what they thought they wanted to look like. And, you be specific, right? So if you're going to build a team, all of you guys that want to build a real unit, what kind of women do you want in that unit? You want divisive women? I don't think so. You want women that have unity. You want women that are encouraging. You want women of their word. Start writing down all those things and then start praying, Lord, send me women of these qualities or better, and then say, Lord, give me the names of some that I already know and help me have the courage to call them. All they can do is say yes or no. They're not going to murder you or anything if you call them, right? The worst thing that can happen is they don't answer their phone. That's the worst. Because really, to me, if they answer, it's just a yes or a no, and that's either way. So the worst thing that could happen is nobody's just going to answer it, right? If they say no, it's okay. You can mark them off and see if they'll be a talent scout. So that's your assignment for tonight. And we got 2 weeks to just blow it out and have a November to remember. And so we're going to I am going to let Jana and Rosemary, if they'd like to say anything just in the call. I know we're a little tiny bit over, but they're my girls and I have to let them speak. So Jana, you want to go first?
Yes, and I'm so excited that you're letting me speak because I'm like, now what happened to all my notes? Okay, so I'm not going to go into a crazy long thing, but Cleta, I listened to the directors in your future national area tonight. I didn't just hear part of your unit members. I heard your future directors. The decision has been made. It's crystal clear to me. I heard it with my eyes. I heard it with my heart. Action is being taken. And I'm so excited for you ladies. Oh my goodness. And you know what? Satan will try to stop you ladies. He will throw daggers. He will try to get in your way, but you know what your plan is. And you cannot run from God's plan for your life. I remember who that was. Let's see. Somebody was, yeah.
Debra Barrett.
That's right. She's been running from God's calling. You can't do it. And by the way, Debra, this is going to be, it'll be like the best blessing ever if it's God's calling on your life and you walk in the direction of that. And so, Cleta, I'm just so excited because I see this happening for your national area. And these women have received God's calling in their heart. And I see it happening. So congratulations to you all. And you know what? You're all going to blossom. And you're going to bless Cleta so much through this as well. And you're going to bless thousands and thousands of countless others because she's going to have a different platform to lead and speak. And so thank you for allowing, for taking your own action so she might be able to take the platform and the stage that God would have her be on. Okay? So thank you all for that.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you, Jana. And I know you're building your national area as well. You got Katie, you got Rosemary, and we're all going to be doing this together. And the cool thing about it, y'all know that, I don't know if you've ever heard of this thing, that there's someone waiting on you to do it for them to do it. And by you not doing what God is telling you to do, you're keeping other people from their blessing too. Because I don't know if you've ever thought this, but most of us have. You see someone that you admire and look up to or whatever, and you're like, well, if she can't do it, I know I can't do it, right? So let's turn it around and say, hey, she can do it. I know I can do it. And then I'm going to be the one say, I'm not going to keep you from doing it because I didn't do it. I'm going for it. And so that's, to me, this weekend, it made me go, okay. And I remember the bamboo plant, even though I don't see, well, now I'm seeing it, but like in the last few months, the vision, I've not seen what I thought I would see by now. But I know that God is working behind the scenes. I know he is, and he's faithful. And so it's pretty exciting. Okay, Rosemary, I'll let you.
Okay.
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I really wish I had been there, because just listening to all the consultants and your directors talk about their experience was very, very, very powerful. I could hear the excitement in their voices. I could hear the passion, and I could hear the commitment.
Yeah.
And I could hear belief. Not just the commitment, but they believe they can do it, and they can. And I love that. And I'm so proud of your consultants for rising above the fear, because that is such a fear is a liar, and it is just, to be able to rise above that is just wonderful. And just keep that up. Don't let that stop you. And I just hope and pray that the momentum that you've come away with, that will continue and continue to grow even. And just the fact that they're stepping out of their comfort zones, just listening to each one of them, I got excited. And it just never ceases to amaze me how our lives are so intertwined. I think we have a tendency, and I don't think we do it on purpose, but we kind of not really have blinders on, but we're focusing on us and maybe a couple other people. But to see the impact that's going to have on hundreds and hundreds of people is just amazing. And Cleta, it just says so much for you. The love they have for you, and the commitment they have for you, just to help build your national area is awesome. And I love what Laurie said about, it's not just about you, and I didn't mean it like that, but you know what I mean? It's just to see everyone else have wins, that their wins are just gonna propel you forward. And I know exactly what you're talking about, when you talked about watching your kid win a beauty pageant or whatever, that proud feeling. And I know that you're going to be so stinking proud of every one of those ladies that spoke tonight, plus the ones we don't even know about yet. So anyway, great job.
That's right. Oh, thank you so much, Rosemary. I appreciate you. I'm going to end with this that he told me. He said, and I want y'all to put yourself in this spot too, because even though, let's say my goal right now is national. Well, it is, but let's put whatever your goal is. Okay. So he said, Cleta's at home plate. And then he said, the sales directors are over there on third base, and the Red Jackets are on second base, and on first base are our new consultants. And everybody's got to move and win and come across that home plate before I can hit the ball and take my run and get my, I'm going to be there to congratulate people. And when let's say you're a Red Jacket, so you're on the home plate and you've got your 3 recruits, right? And so they got to come around that bend, and they got to get their wins. They got to get their perfect start. They got to get their great start, get that first party under their wing. And then they're going to run around that base, and then you're going to build them into Red Jackets. And then soon you'll be standing there as the DIQ with, Red Jackets on your team. They're going to hit the ball. They're going to start running around. And then, as you build directors, and as you are a director, then you're going to have that same thing. You have the directors on the home plate. You got your senior consultants, your Reds, your team leaders, and they're all playing. And the thing about Mary Kay is that you cannot move up by yourself. And it would not even be fun, because what's the purpose? I mean, like, the purpose in our life is to serve others, right? And so as everybody's winning, we're all going to be winning. And, you know, when Jana calls me and has a new DIQ, I'm just as excited for her as I am if it was one of my own directors that had a DIQ, you know, because when we win, we all win. And so you guys think about that and think about your team. You know, draw you some little faces, and what are they going to look like? You know, get a magazine, cut some faces out, and put them on a poster board if you have to, and go find some women that look like them. But make sure they have your list of qualities that you want, right? Because just a bunch of pretty faces aren't going to do much for you if they don't know how to work and they don't have integrity. And so thank y'all for calling in tonight. I know it's a few minutes over, but I really appreciate all the girls that shared with us tonight. And we're going to have a fantastic 2 weeks. We have a lot to be thankful for on Thanksgiving Day and on November the 30th. So say a little prayer for me as I had to, and I didn't even let my girl Lindy, sorry about that, Lindy. Let me let my gal Lindy talk for just a second, because if she's still on here.
Logged on with Jen, and I don't see them on now.
Okay, I don't either. Okay, I hate that. Well, I'm heading to Michigan tomorrow, and to meet with my Michigan director and pump all them up in Michigan. So anyway, we'll have more to come. But we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a great week. I'm going to go ahead and